Well, curling fans are still coming to terms, I think, with some very big news this week that Brad Gushue has decided to step away from the sport, put down the skip stone at the end of this competitive season. And here's how we announced it on social media.
To the people of Newfoundland and Labrador, to the fans and supporters all across Canada, and to the curling community around the world, I wanted to announce that this will be my final year in competitive curling.
That was just part of the post that went on in video form. Such a legendary career, two-time Olympic medalist, the first gold ever for Canada in Turin in '06, World Championship medals, six-time Brier champion, more than anyone, and then the Brier ahead. Well, we're going to talk about all of that because look who our special guest is this morning. It is none other than Brad Gushue in St. John's. Welcome. It's just a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thanks, Heather. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
I'm wondering, what has the last 24, 36 hours been like for you since the word went out? The reaction?
Yeah, it's been overwhelming. A lot of really nice responses, a lot of messages from curlers, friends, family, supporters. It's been overwhelming, very emotional. A lot of tears over the last couple of days. And,
really?
Yeah, it's been an interesting process. It's been fun, but it's also been emotionally taxing, I would say, is probably the best way to describe it.
Well, pause that thought on interesting process, because I was thinking about the Gushue girls. What are they going to do, Brad? I've got their picture up on our screen. What are they going to do if you step away this year? Oh, my goodness.
I'm not 100% sure, but I had heard that this year's Brier might be their last anyway. So I think the timing is pretty good, but they've been a huge supporter of ours. And not just them. We've had an incredible following over the last number of years. And I know a lot of them are going to be disappointed to hear that I'm stepping away, but I'm so appreciative and thankful for all the support they've given us over the years.
I was definitely going to make that point. They are legendary fans, but they're just part of your legion of fans that has continued to build over the years. The timing, you said, the interesting process. What was the process to get to this particular moment to announce?
Yeah, it really started after the season ended last year, and I started to have these feelings about it being, this year being my final season. And I kept those feelings to myself. And I felt like last season I wanted to share it and I couldn't share it. And, my teammates were also curious as to what my plans were going to be. And I asked them to give me the summer just to make sure that I was 100% confident with this. And as the summer progressed, I got, more and more confident that this was the right move. And I shared it with them a little over a week ago and with my family and friends, and then put the plans in place to how to get it out to the public, because I felt it was good to get it off our chest early this season so we can focus on the trials and the Brier and not have that distraction kind of over our heads all season.
Well, I'm imagining a reaction to that final decision. Family probably elated that they're going to see a lot more of you. But in terms of the team, and I'm thinking particularly of Mark, people maybe don't know, you've been curling together since, I think, '98's the time when you were both juniors. How did he take it?
Yeah, he was, I think disappointed, but not surprised. I think Jeff and Brendan reacted the same way. I think for Mark, he was hoping I'd continue, and if I continued, he would probably continue to play. And I think at this point now, he's kind of weighing what he's going to do, and same with Jeff and Brendan. So, I think it's important to give them some time to figure it out. But that's part of the reason I wanted to make this decision as early as possible, because I knew it was going to have implications on their careers and in their lives. So, hopefully they can come to a conclusion pretty quick, but it isn't an easy process. So if it takes them more time, fully understanding of it. But very thankful for the teammates and relationship that I had with Jeff and with Mark, and obviously with Brendan now. Wouldn't be where I am without those guys.
And we're watching, as you talk, some of those great moments of celebration. I was working with our team here and our producer trying to choose which highlights to show in talking to you. Impossible. I mean, all your career and such a storied career. I covered your gold in '06 in Turin. I don't know if that's your big highlight moment, but if you were to tell me which highlight I should choose, what would you say, Brad?
You know what? I'm going to have to pick two, Heather. I'd have to pick the Olympics in '06. Obviously, was a life-changing moment for us. and the Brier in 2017, winning the first Brier at home with all the pressure that we felt, with all the fans behind us. Those two would definitely stand out over the course of my career.
Fantastic. Well, that gold, in case people don't know, that was the first ever gold for Canada in curling at the Olympics, and it was an absolutely stunning moment and such a celebration. And then 2017, the Brier. So let's look ahead for a moment, because where does the Brier, that was in St. John's, incidentally, when you won that one in 17. Where's the Brier this year, Brad?
The Brier is back in St. John's. There's a lot of events that line up to big moments in my career. We're playing the trials, the Olympic trials in Halifax in November, and that's where we won 20 years ago, which got us to go to Torino. The Olympics are back in Italy again this year, and hopefully we get a chance to represent Canada again. And then the Brier being in St. John's, which, again, marks another great moment in our career in 2017. And then even beyond that, if we're fortunate enough to win the Brier, the World Championships are in Ogden, Utah, which is where we won a World Juniors back in 2001. So
okay, you're kidding me. I'm not a believer in signs, but those are pretty good tea leaves, Brad.
Yeah, I'm not a big believer either, but when I started to get closer to this decision and I saw how all these events lined up, I was like, okay, this might be a sign. And, it's going to be a great way to end the season, no matter what the results are. The chance to get to play in front of family and friends at home, it's going to be amazing, and something I'm going to have to prepare for emotionally, but it's going to be fun to take part in.
Yeah, that's something I'd like to ask you about. I was talking about your announcement with Mike Harris yesterday, and he was a little bit surprised in terms of the announcement before such a big season to come, in that the emotion is going to be heightened at every step along the journey this year, at every event and every bonspiel. How do you think you're going to process all of this? Could it be a distraction, or will it be bigger inspiration? I mean, what do you think?
It could go either way, but the way we looked at it is I knew the decision was made in my heart, and whether I shared it or didn't share it, I'm still going to feel those emotions, and I would still be emotional at some of those key points throughout the season. I think for me, actually opening up and sharing it with my teammates and with my family, and obviously with the public, like I did a couple of days ago, I actually think that's going to take a bit of the burden off me. I think if I had to shoulder that weight all by myself all year and kind of hide what I'm feeling and hide what I know is going to be the fact, I don't think it would lead to the best results. So, I think this is the right move for me. It's the right move for my team. And certainly when I decided to tell them it was going to be my last year, I wanted to make sure that they were okay with this process, and they felt it was the right way to go as well.
Well, I'm not going to ask you what's coming next for you, because you need to focus on the tasks at hand. I know you said there's nothing really firmly in the offing, and that's good, because you can really look to this year with all of those signposts along the way. You talked a little bit in your news conference talking to reporters about what you're proudest of, and I really liked your answer there. Maybe you'd share it with our viewers. What is, of all of the Brad Gushue achievements, what is it that you're most proud of?
You know what? I hope I've been a good teammate. I've been a good friend, a good leader on the team. Those are the things that I want to be recognized for. Someone that young curlers maybe looked up to and want to be like. That's a pretty cool thing if I was able to achieve that. I don't really look at the moments. And you mentioned earlier, I've been fortunate enough to have quite a few of them. And I don't look at those as really the success part. I look at it as a whole, and really being able to play at the top level for 25 years is something I'm pretty proud of. To stay, at or near the top of the game as the game has changed and evolved, when we changed and evolved with it. I think that's something that's pretty cool to look back on and say, what, we were able to be one of the best teams in the world for a long period of time.
Leaving at the top is a tremendous gift. So it's, again, maybe a factor in all of this decision. Listen, on behalf of curling fans, every time you would settle into the hack, I would just wait to see the magic come. And may we see some of those incredible shots made over these tournaments. Could be quite a special year for you, Brad, and a full circle moment. So we'll hope that is the case. And thank you so much for your time today. Wish you the very best.
Thanks for having me, Heather. I appreciate it.
Brad Gushue on CBC Morning Live.